as we bring up our next speaker, by show of hands, how many folks have been to the Wolfe Creek Amphitheater for an event? That's fantastic. That's fantastic. I was very excited to bring up Corro'll, who's who leads the Friends of Wolfe Creek nonprofit, because I think that Wolfe Creek Amphitheater is one of the many hidden jewels we have in South Fulton County. It is a premier outdoor venue which does not get enough pub. And what we want to do is by way of whatever awareness and light we can shine on it, let more people know who haven't been to know about what this great jewel is in South Fulton, because this really should be a venue that's really seen as a venue that's used by all of Fulton County. So with that, please, Corro'll, talk about Friends of Wolfe Creek. Please, sir.
Well, good morning again, everybody. I'm actually happy to be here, thanks to Michael's good grace, to talk about Wolfe Creek Amphitheater, as well as the Friends of Wolfe Creek and our role in helping Wolfe Creek Amphitheater achieve their objectives and their goals. And I think the only person here that may have more knowledge about the history of Wolfe Creek than I would be Miss Dyan, because she's all over all of the planning documents as it relates to the Wolfe Creek Amphitheater. So originally, Wolfe Creek Amphitheater was brought about due to some concerts that were actually being delivered in the area anyway by District 7. All right? And I think at the time Ms. Matthews was the Chief of Staff for Bill Edwards. And the overall goal was to bring a venue or bring the arts to the suburban areas as recommended by Research Atlanta for Georgia State University. And with that, there was a significant push to build the Wolfe Creek Amphitheater venue in the unincorporated area. So we get it here, and the primary objective or goal was to target South Fulton citizens. Now, of course, there was an invite for other citizens, but specifically there was a focus on South Fulton. The thought there is that if you have a venue such as the Wolfe Creek Amphitheater in the suburban areas, it was a no-brainer because most of the citizens associate the arts with a good quality of life. And so it wouldn't be difficult to, I guess I'll say, collect an additional amount of revenue, most people would say taxes, to support such a venue. So over the years, Wolfe Creek Amphitheater started out, I think they did a free concert, then they did 3, then it just started growing. Last year we had 25 concerts delivered during the entire season. And that was under the support of Fulton County General Fund. This year, Wolfe Creek Amphitheater is now considered to be an enterprise fund. And so for those who don't know, that means self-sufficient, operating such as yourself as an independent business that is responsible for taking care of its own expenses based on the revenue that it collects. And it's a different type of venue. Most people compare Wolfe Creek Amphitheater to Chastain. And if you've been to Chastain, you know there's not a lot of leg room. And I feel like I'm 6 feet. Obviously, I'm not 6 feet when I walk in Chastain. And so there's mixed seating, you know, VIP tables at the front. We have some seating midway, then we have some grass, which, believe it or not, the grass seating is one of the most popular aspects of the Wolfe Creek Amphitheater. What's even more attractive is the term affordable. How many have visited? I know I saw some hands. Okay, so affordable is an understatement. The pricing point includes parking, includes enjoying the artists such as we've had People Bryson. I don't know if you went to the blues concert last week. I did, and I had to let my hair down. I mean, I really enjoyed it. So from a Friends of Wolfe Creek perspective, which has been around since 2011, is really to support those goals of the Wolfe Creek Amphitheater, right? Our goal, and I'll show you an example of this, is to go out and work to solicit corporate sponsorship for the venue. Well, we've also had discussions about what about the small businesses? How do we get them involved? So we do have some different aspects for that. If you've been out, we have the flagpoles, we have the fencing, and we're in a relationship right now with Charge and Go. You might want to try them out, which is they provide us with charging stations that allow us to push ads to individuals that are actually sitting at the tables, which we're trying that out right now in Skybox. Last year we tried out, renting out some of those devices. Went very well, so now we're trying to do some ads here. So from a Friends of Wolf Creek perspective, we're organized in two fashions. So we've made some changes as of 2015. We not only support the Wolf Creek Amphitheater, but we also support the Wolf Creek Library. And so we have a dedicated council called the Friends of Wolf Creek Library to the Library. You've been here, you've heard that spiel, I think, a couple of weeks ago. We also have what we call the Friends of Wolf Creek Amphitheater Council. So we just reorganize ourselves. We have been successful in getting support from Microsoft and Salesforce. So Microsoft has donated about $92,000 worth of software, cloud-based, to Friends of Wolf Creek. And then Salesforce has donated about $56,000. All of this is in support of the Wolf Creek Amphitheater from a Salesforce perspective, because we need to manage that sponsorship sales life cycle. You all are in sales, right? Today you're probably managing your sales life cycle using what, spreadsheets? Okay, that wasn't funny. So I'll go ahead and move on. So just to give you some insight in how we target, let me come out of this right here, how we target sponsorship for Wolf Creek. And just alluding back to what Mike spoke to a little bit earlier, because we work together on the Economic Development Committee for John Eads. Wolf Creek, the idea around Wolf Creek is that it will become the centerpiece to most of the economic development right here at Camp Creek, at Enon Road, Merck Road. We have about 300 acres of undeveloped area. Am I the only one excited about that? No. So there is a lot of potential for economic development in this area, and at the center of that is the Wolf Creek Amphitheater, right? And so there's a lot of thought around that. So the wish list for Wolf Creek is, hey, we need a parking deck, multi-level parking deck. Well, Friends of Wolf Creek is to work with Wolf Creek Amphitheater to achieve that. We need the sidewalks. I don't know if anybody ever rode down Merck Road or Enon, but you'll see people who are walking, maybe from the library or the parking areas to Wolf Creek Amphitheater. So we're actually working on that. But generally when we go out and we have a discussion with some of these potential corporate sponsors, we really like to bring the actual feel of the venue to the individuals, because believe it or not, most of the corporate sponsors that we're targeting on behalf of Wolf Creek some of them are not even aware of the Wolf Creek Amphitheater. I mean, they've never heard of it. They don't know where it's located. So we have to bring the feeling of the actual venue to them. Let me put this on mute, because there might be some language you don't want to hear. But as you can see from a Friends of Wolf Creek perspective, we focus on a couple of core areas: music, film, health, theater, education. That's tightly aligned with the actual strategic goals of the actual county. And so when I go out, or any of us go out and we talk about the Friends of Wolf Creek, let's see if you can see that. I went too high. If you can look down here, you can see we are a 501c3. We think that that's strategic when we go out and talk with or speak with corporate sponsors, because they're interested in this because they want a return on their investment. I don't think I have to elaborate on the importance of this 501c3. Right now we're in discussions with Chick-fil-A Foundation, right, to help us target the educational aspects of that. Wolf Creek Amphitheater is a very diverse and flexible venue that would allow us to focus on education, right? We're talking about, hey, we have all of these schools in our area. What about a battle of the bands between, between the high schools? What about a gospel concert? How many churches can you imagine that we have down here in unincorporated? I'm still counting, right? So we have a significant amount of opportunities. Those are just to name a few. I think personally, just from looking at the numbers, right, and I've looked at the earnings and the expenses over the last 3 years. Wolf Creek Amphitheater is doing a great job with bringing the right talent to the area. the genres are totally mixed at each and every concert, right? I've seen a mixture of blues with reggae. I know you might say, wait a minute. But that allows the venue to be packed. We seat about 5,400 to 5,600. That number of individuals that can attend the venue was by design, right? It provides a lot of flexibility for us. So I'll just move on. I won't go over each and every one of these, but if I jump down and I start getting into, some of the experience, and this is how we sell it. I don't know if you all are familiar with this actual technology, but we are allowed to bring in these experiences when we go out and we speak with our customers. They're going to ask us about demographics. I'll show you some of the demographics in a second. They're going to wonder, hey, what's the feel? How are people excited? So it was important for us to take that experience over to those corporate sponsors. And we just worked this out this year. Last year was my first year. I started like in March. I don't know anything about entertainment other than trying to take my wife out to eat, maybe going to see some jazz. So I had to wrap my head around the operations of the actual venue. And then I had to wrap my head around what are some of the expectations. As a small business owner, this is very attractive to you all. We have a box where you can actually come in, so you can contribute to that 501c3. You can have some seats in the box, and you can bring your clients out there for entertainment, right? So it's a great business development aspect. But there are other rental areas of Wolfe Creek that a lot of people don't talk about, right? So it would be great for you all to take a look at that. I won't go through each and every one of those, but you can see, that we're considered to be a world-class event complex. Notice I use the word considered. Now it's been solidified. We sell out at least 80% of our concerts per year. Anybody else excited about that? That's what I'm talking about. I know Dyan. So Dyan comes to talk more about it. She won't even talk about South Fulton Change. So you can see we have, a couple of areas. So we have our own sound and lighting equipment, but the promoters who are renting the facilities, they can bring their own. See, that's that type of flexibility. How much more time I have? Oh, man, let me move. Michael is serious. So here's some of the demographics. So you can see here the average age is 38. Those that are employed are about 93%. You can see that we have 68% of the attendees that have an advanced degree or higher level degree. You can see that they spend on average $10 to $30. There's 24% that spend between $10 to $30. You can see 17% spend $30 to $60. That's important from a vendor's perspective because we have repeat business with those vendors who like to come out. And believe it or not, this is food and alcohol. So we're in discussions with Hendrick's Gin. Hendrick's Gin is top shelf. They're doing a great job where the demographics are mainly Caucasian. But guess what the next target market is? They're not doing so well. African Americans. African Americans with a median income of $80,000. And so they want to come out and be able to activate. What a better place to do that than Wolfe Creek Amphitheater. So what I want to encourage you all to do is come out, take a look at Wolfe Creek, experience it, and really consider investing in the venue because, and then Dick will be here. There are some plans that can't be released to me yet until it's being get presented to the board for Fulton County, which will be this July meeting. They will present the new plans, including the details of the enterprise fund, and then I'll be able to go and meet with Dick. And so Dick's coming in, what month?
September.
September, perfect time to ask him questions about the future of the venue because there are quite a few conversations about Live Nation and its competitors. And so, again, there's a lot of room for growth. But I think for a small business, from a small business perspective, it would be great to see you all come on board before we start making those changes coming in next year. So you can see some of our sponsors, right? And some of these could be on a concert-by-concert basis. We need a venue sponsor, skybox sponsor. Again, we have flagpoles, which would be great for small businesses to have your brand associated with it, right? Not only that, you get it presented on the Jumbotron. So you can see HURT 911, of course, Fulton County Arts Council, and there was a debate on where should Wolfe Creek Amphitheater fall, under Parks and Rec or under the Arts Council, right? So you remember that, don't you, Dyan? Right, questions? I'm sorry, yes ma'am.
How do we get into contact with you
Oh,
to become one of your friends?
I apologize for not putting that on the slide, but I'll make sure I share, because I don't want to take up the time, my contact information, and I'll make sure I make it available for everyone. But just briefly, it's Corro'll at friendsofwolfecreek.com, and I'll make sure I share that with you guys. Corroll at friendsofwolfecreek.com.
Website for buying tickets to events?
For ticketed events, it's wolfecreekamphitheater.com. I apologize, I should have had that up here. And look, it's a great venue. Come out as my guest in the Skybox, and let's see where we can find some common interest. Right. Again, this is a great time to get on board with Wolfe Creek Amphitheater. Most people tag it as maybe the mini Atlantic station in the area. So we'll see after November's referendum, how that plays out. Everybody know what I'm talking about, right? Cityhood, new cityhood.
Right. Corro'll, one last question. So this is a business owner question for advertising. The patrons that are coming in, do you have any demographic data to say what the distribution is? Is it just South Fulton? Is it west of the city? Just because I know that we all do targeted marketing, and we want to know who our audiences are based on our proximity to our businesses.
So that's a good question. So from a demographic perspective of targeting, of course, South Fulton, we have a significant number of residents that are patronizing the venue. We have an extended reach into Douglas, believe it or not, Douglas. And so we're looking to diversify the venue with country music. East Point has actually been identified as a significant number of attendees. We have some coming from Fayetteville, not as many patrons as we have from Douglas or East Point. We do have some northern visitors, like from Alpharetta, from Sandy Springs. They would be considered on more of the lighter end, but it all depends on the type of genre that we have for Wolfe Creek Amphitheater.
That's perfect. It's perfect.
Who's our largest competitor as far as amphitheaters?
Well, so there were initial analysis. Chastain was identified. Believe it or not, although it's all the way north, Horizon, right? And most of the venues in Atlanta. But again, the thought from Research Atlanta, Georgia State University, is that instead of having all of these citizens come to the center, downtown Atlanta, the thought was to put some venues in the suburban area. So just to be honest, anybody who attends Chastain and then they come over and attend Wolfe Creek Amphitheater, and this is a consistent set of feedback. Oh my God, it's totally different. I love it over here. I have room. I mean, I can pick what type of experience I want, from the VIP tables to seating to sitting on the grass. It's just an open venue. And we're working on a couple other things to make that even better. Maybe a cover that extends over the grass, so if it rains, we can protect some of the patrons. But believe it or not, when it rains, umbrellas go up, cell phones light up, and they continue to have a good time. All right, any other questions, prayers, wishes, want to dance a jig, cut a rug? All right.
The email address again?
Oh, it's Corro'll, that's CORROLL, and I'll make sure I give it to you all, at Friends of Wolfe Creek, spell it out, .com.
Right, Corro'll, thank you very much. So I apologize for a little bit behind, and as we look to get set up, as many people alluded to as being volunteers for the South Fulton Chamber, I am also a volunteer. I'm the ambassador for South Fulton Chamber. And really glad that we have Dyan here today, because Dyan's been a friend for a long time. And I think Corro'll kind of gave some of your bio as well. Because one of the things that was exciting to me is, as a business owner here, and I had a retail space here in 2010, Dyan took over the South Fulton Chamber in 2010, and I think that the Chamber was at a real crossroads. And what's really been exciting from 2010 to 2016 is under her leadership, she has really spearheaded a renaissance in terms of growth, in terms of branding, but also really having a lot more membership value. So you've seen the membership, if I remember correctly, probably double to over 420 now. And one of the things that we wanted to do to our members is really connect and partner with the South Fulton Chamber, as well as next month the Atlanta Area Chamber, because there are a lot of different business opportunities we have in terms of awareness, marketing, and exposure, and also networking for ideas that will help us grow our businesses. And we have to look beyond just having us speak. We have to partner with organizations that have other membership groups and share in their events, and that's kind of what this is about. As Corro'll alluded to, Dyan was Chief of Staff, District 7 for Bill Edwards for 10 years, and prior to that, for a number of years, she ran a very successful PR firm. Her complete bio is there. I'm not going to insult you by reading it. We are short on time, and I want to give as much time so Dyan can talk about the South Fulton Chamber of Commerce. So please welcome Dyan Matthews.
Well, good morning again, everyone. It's such a pleasure to be here, and on behalf of our members and our board of directors of the South Fulton Chamber, we just want to thank you for this opportunity to share information about the Chamber and what we do. But before I do that, I'd just like all of our Chamber members to stand. That includes ambassadors, board member Bill Davenport back there in the back, and our members. Thank you guys. This is what makes our Chamber go, is our members. Without our members, nothing would be happening. We have the best board, the best membership, the best ambassadors, and I don't say that lightly. I've had some other chamber presidents to tell me, how did you get your ambassador program like that? I said, it's the ambassadors that we chose. So we have people like Michael Davis, that's one of our leaders of our ambassador program. We have the most dedicated volunteers who are primarily small business people that just give up their time, and we just have a love of South Fulton County, and with this being a county chamber, it's like family. So we love being here, and so with that, I just wanted to say, I know that some people do not realize that the South Fulton Chamber started out as the East Point Chamber of Commerce. We were formed in 1947 as the East Point Chamber of Commerce and operated that way for many years until in 1969 we merged with what was then a College Park Chamber of Commerce. Probably hardly anyone in here even knew that there was a College Park Chamber of Commerce. But the two merged together in 1969, and the chamber took on the name of South Fulton Chamber of Commerce, making it one of two county chambers for Fulton County. And we partner with our counterpart, which is the Greater North Fulton Chamber, and then the South Fulton Chamber. And some people say, well, what about the Atlanta Chamber? The Atlanta Chamber is a metro chamber, so we don't compete. That's one of our resources as a chamber, as it is for all of the other chambers in the metropolitan Atlanta area. Then I have others to say, well, what about the Airport Area Chamber of Commerce? The Airport Area Chamber of Commerce is one of our largest partners. They are a regional chamber, regional in the airport area. So we try to make sure that the community understands this is not about competition. This is about all of these chambers pulling together and helping our businesses here to continue to grow and to bring in more quality business. That's our goal. So if I push the right one, Kathy. Okay. The mission of the South Fulton Chamber of Commerce is to create synergy for business development and expansion by attracting, retaining, and advancing the business interests of South Fulton County. We take that very seriously. We are a large area. South Fulton County, basically for county purposes, starts at I-20 and comes south all the way to the Fayette County line, and in certain areas, the Coweta County line. It goes east to the Clayton County line and west to the Douglas County line. So we have a huge geographic area with 7 cities, not counting Atlanta, which we now really need to start counting because more and more of South Fulton has become Atlanta in recent years. So it's 7 cities plus Atlanta, so I guess that's 8 cities, as well as the unincorporated area, which would be major, but I won't get into that right now. And of course, we work with each of the cities, which would include Fulton County government, and then East Point, College Park, Capeville, Union City, Fairburn, Palmetto, and Chattahoochee Hill, and not to leave out unincorporated South Fulton County. We were so pleased to realize at our annual awards luncheon back in February or March, I can't remember the date now, when we announced our accomplishments for 2015. And we realized that we had actually met all of our goals for 2015. And some of those included increasing our membership within the past year another 20%, which has now increased the Chamber's operating revenue, making us even more stable than we were before. So I'd say for the past 6 years, it has just improved until between, as Michael said earlier, between 2010 and now, we've actually doubled our membership. So we are really pleased about that. We have received a grant in late 2015 from the Development Authority of Fulton County to put together a new marketing program. And under that program, it includes a new marketing guide, a video of South Fulton, and a 2-day fam tour. I'm leaving out something. Oh, and an enhanced website, which is going to be music to the ears of our members, because this new enhanced website that will be unveiled in the fall is going to allow their link to be added to the online directory that will be on this new website. So we're always trying to come up with ways that we can promote our members' businesses much easier, and this is going to allow for that because members will now be able to have their code go in, update anything in the online directory so that it can just keep flowing, and you don't have to wait for a staff person at the chamber to go and do it for you. You can do it for yourself. And then this just shows some of the many events that we held last year. Including some of our signature events like our annual golf tournament. We had a great holiday luncheon in December that even brought in Mr. and Mrs. Santa Claus. One of the things we're most proud of from last year was that for the first time in the maybe 15 or so years that we participated or partnered with Fulton County Schools in Principal for a Day, the first time last year we achieved 100% participation from community people, from chamber members, from corporations, small businesses, you name it. Everybody wanted to be Principal for a Day and chose a school. It was so good that if you waited after we sent the flyer out for you to register, if you waited like maybe a week and then you go on, you're locked out because all the schools were taken. So we're really, really pleased. So just wanted to let you know that Principal for a Day is coming up again in November. We will start sending the invitation flyer out in October. The minute you get it, please go ahead on and click on it and register for the school that you choose to be a Principal for a Day at, because that's the only way that you're going to get in, because it has really taken off. So we're pleased about that. Also, last year, the Chamber partnered again with Fulton County Schools in a project called Project Art, but it's also called Project Can Do Good. And I like Can Do Good because it lends itself to explaining to you that this is about each of our South Fulton High School students collecting cans that ultimately will be presented to a nonprofit organization that assists families in need. And the cans are going to be distributed by that organization to these families during Thanksgiving. But before that happens, after the students have collected the cans, they are competing with each of the other schools in South Fulton, the other high schools, to create something out of the cans. Last year, I know, I think it was Westlake created a football stadium. And I think it was Tri-Cities that created a rocket ship. So the creativity of our high school students just blows your mind away when you realize that these are canned goods that they are making this artwork out of. It's absolutely fantastic. The location of it every year, and this year again, will be Fulton County Government Center in the atrium. And it's so wonderful because it gives people who are doing business with the county that day an opportunity as they're walking through to do their business. They can stop and actually see these works of art from all of our high school students. And we hand them a ballot called the People's Choice Ballot, and we just tell them it only take a few minutes. Just walk through and jot down which school you think was the most creative. So the students have an opportunity to compete for People's Choice Award. But we also have 5 judges, and that's made up of chamber members and community leaders who give of their time to come in and actually really closely review the artwork, and then we give first place, second place, third place trophies to those schools. So we like almost everyone to walk away with something. So this is just supporting our kids. You'll hear more about this when we send that flyer out, because that takes place in November also. So be on the lookout for it. It doesn't cost anything. We just want you to come down and support our students. Of course, your chamber is a member of the Aerotropolis Alliance Board. And I know most of you know all about the Airport City, right? Everyone that knows about it, please raise your hand so I know that you know. Okay, yeah, the majority of you know. So it has been an effort of love. It started it started with announcing it to the community about 5 years ago, but it really was on the drawing board about 10 years ago. And even before Doug Hooker, the executive director of the ARC, became the executive director, when he was at PBS&J, he actually was working on this then. So this has been a long time coming. And of course, with the help of the ARC and Hartsfield-Jackson, the city of Atlanta, this all really began to form around 2012, late 2011, early 2012, and it has just taken off since then. So for the few of you that don't know about it, the Aerotropolis is an airport city around the airport. And Atlanta has really taken the lead on this. We are competing with some other cities, but mostly European cities. The one city here that we're competing the closest with would be Dallas, Texas. Dallas is trying to see what we're doing, and we're trying to see what they're doing. So the recent link trip really helped us get a closer view of Dallas's plans for their Aerotropolis, and they're moving ahead just like we are. So we're kind of rushing to beat each other, if you will. But other cities in Europe are far ahead of all of us, and so we have been modeling ourselves after some of them, especially Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris, as well as Stuttgart, Germany. It's just incredible, the plans. For those of you that have been keeping up with it, you know that Porsche is like the first major development within the Aerotropolis area. And I think I've seen a few of you that were at the groundbreaking for the new Hotel Solis that is right next door to Porsche. Porsche is 1 Porsche Drive, and Hotel Solis will be 2 Porsche Drive in Hayville. So that's the next development, and so we're just continuing with that. And Camp Creek is a viable part of the airport area or the airport city as far as I'm concerned, because we are the front gate into the airport area coming off I-285. You gotta go Camp Creek Parkway if you're trying to get to Hartsfield-Jackson Airport. So we've been very busy with all of this, including the US Highway 29 project. We partnered with Fulton County on this. That is the project that has really been working to bring more technology companies to Highway 29. And we're really pleased because we now have companies like Google that are over there on Highway 29, and then it all backs up, coming right back over here to Camp Creek Marketplace, North Commerce Drive with Amazon. And all of this is by plan. This did not happen by accident. East Point Economic Development and the county's economic development, they've been working together really hard to attract these types of businesses into our area. And then last year we kicked off a Human Resources Law Employment Academy for small businesses to really get information for free, valuable information for free that will help you when you're dealing with your employees and putting together your P&P manuals and all of this, so that you stay on the right side and don't find out by accident, oh, that was a mistake and now someone's suing me because maybe one of my managers said the wrong thing, or maybe I said the wrong thing or did the wrong thing. So this session has been extremely well attended by our members, so much so that we have kicked it off again for 2016. And then lastly, the Chamber relocated from the Fulton industrial area to downtown East Point in the Wagon Works office complex. And we love our new home. I think I did it right, Kathy. Yeah, okay. 2016 goals, we have a few primarily dealing with economic development. We just really want to continue to partner with Fulton County government as we are, and we've been ensuring that we are, how can I put this, basically at the forefront in working hand in hand with economic development and now the Fulton County Development Authority in attracting new businesses. When Commission Chairman John Eves gave his State of the County address in April at the Loudermilk Center, he announced a new initiative, which is a task force on technology. The purpose of that task force is to do just what I'm talking about. Go out and directly pull in technology companies into Fulton County, but more expressively into South Fulton County. And it's a pleasure for me. The chairman chose 2 people to co-chair this task force, and I am one of the co-chairs. So I look at it as South Fulton is one of the co-chairs of really working on this and really helping with the county's resources to bring in even more technology companies than we are bringing in right now. So you can see that we're on the move with that. We're also continuing as a chamber to put emphasis on renewing sustainability initiatives by partnering with these eco-friendly organizations. We work closely with Lowe's as a prime example, and we're looking to partner with other organizations like that because we really want to increase our community's awareness when it comes to alternative fuels, recycling, and also community gardening. So that's one of our major efforts. And then, of course, we're always about increasing opportunities for our members and bringing in more funding for the chamber to through our special events, or our signature events, which is going to translate into more opportunities for our members again, because we can do more programming with more money. And then, most importantly, as I said before, we're developing that new marketing program that I talked about, and we've just kicked off our social media presence, and we're thrilled about that. So we are now live again on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Who am I leaving out? On Instagram, I don't know all of these. our person that's doing it mentioned Snapchat, so I know you guys know all about that. But at any rate, look for the chamber. Check us out on all of that because we are live. I don't know why I'm having a problem. These are our board of directors. I won't name them all, but we have, to me, my one word for our board of directors is strong leaders. We have the most fantastic board, 20 members strong, and they are all totally hands-on with the chamber. And they represent some companies that they represent would include companies like PepsiCo, Georgia Military College, Georgia Power, Greystone Power, Car Strategies, LLC, Fulton County Schools, Fulton County Economic Development, Wellstar at Atlanta Medical Center South, SunTrust Bank, on here, the Nebo Law Group, and, oh yes, South Fulton Lifestyle Magazine is not a chamber member, but they are one of our most engaged chairman circle members at the chairman circle level. And the other publication that is on our board would be the ATL Guide. Most of you probably still know it as the Atlanta Airport Guide. So, oh, and the Development Authority of Fulton County and the Collaborative Firm. So we have a great family of board members that really set fantastic policies for the chamber. And then we have our chamber ambassadors who they've introduced themselves today, those that are here. And this is the list of the entire 21 members of the South Fulton Chamber ambassadors. And we have a small staff, but it's a very effective staff. So it's me, of course. In the middle is Linda Barr, our office manager. So for those of you that have called the chamber or have visited the chamber, you've either seen her smiling face, because she's always smiling, or you've heard her smiling voice when she's answering the phone. And then Miss Kathy Hood, who you met earlier, who handles all of our marketing and public relations and is also the founder and dean of Woman University and Marvelous Life Foundation. So we have a great team. And most importantly, we couldn't do everything that we do without our partners, and so I just listed a lot of them on here, but this is not all of them, but these are the ones that I could fit into this one cell. Starting with the Camp Creek Business Association, you guys have been a great partner and we've enjoyed our partnership. Thank you, Michael Davis, for the support, and we love supporting you guys and getting your notices out, and anything else you all think of that the chamber can do, you know we're here for you. The South Fulton Homeowners Alliance, Corro'll Driskell back there. Wolfe Creek Amphitheater again, Corro'll Driskell. Wolfe Creek, as Corro'll has said, is near and dear to my heart, but he has said it all, so I don't need to say anything else. Old National Merchants Association, South Fulton Parkway Alliance, Airport West and Airport South, CIDs that are now the Aerotropolis CIDs. The Aerotropolis Alliance, also Invest Atlanta, Development Authority, Fulton County, Woman Youth. And just to name a few, I didn't have on there the Airport Area Chamber of Commerce also, as well as the Atlanta Chamber and the Georgia Chamber of Commerce, just to name a few. And these are our Chairman Circle members, Hartsfield-Jackson, Greystone Power, Georgia Power, Collaborative Firm, PepsiCo, AT&T, the Airport Guide, and South Fulton Lifestyle Magazine. These people and their support with paying a higher rate is what makes it possible for the South Fulton Chamber to do the programming that we do. As most of you know that attend, most of our events are free of charge. The only thing that we really charge for is the monthly luncheon, just so that we can pay for it. That's it. We don't even make a profit off of that. So we appreciate the Chairman Circle members because they make that possible for us to be able to do for our members. If you need to reach me or any of our staff, this is our contact information right here, and you can always just go to our website, southfultonchamber.com. You can go to that to check out the calendar, see what's going on with the chamber, join the chamber, or even send me an email via the chamber. But I also have my email address on here. That's my personal email. That's the quickest way to get me. And that's pretty much it. Are there any questions? Wow, I did a great job. Well, thank you for your time.
Well, Dyan, once again, thank you so much, not only for coming today and telling the story about what the Chamber is and Chamber does, but thank you for your partnership. Question for you, and so in terms of membership, so I saw the presentation, I want to join, do I call you, what do I do?
You can do it one of two ways. You can always call me if you need to talk and get more information. But if you're ready, just go to the website, southfultonchamber.com, and you can actually join online. There's an online application, and it will take your payment online as well. It will show you the membership levels. That's most important. Small business is $275. That means if you have from 0 to 10 employees, it's $275 a year, and it's from, let's say if you join right now, June, then it's from this June until June of 2017, like that. Then it goes up on an escalating scale based on the number of employees. So it has all of that outlined for you, but you can always feel free to contact me or talk to Kathy, who's here with us today, or call the office and you'll get Linda and she'll tell you the same thing. So just let me know.
Thanks. We ran a little bit over, I apologize that we started late. Any closing comments, questions about anything dealing with anything in the Camp Creek Marketplace area, or, sorry, Camp Creek Parkway corridor? Well, if not, we can close. And again, in the back of your minutes today, or your agenda today, is the flyer for next month. We're meeting the last Thursday, July 28th. We'll have the Honorable John Cole Peters and Carmelita Scott, Executive Director of the Airport Area Chamber of Commerce. And again, I hope you guys have a great day. I thank you for your time, and we'll hopefully see you again soon.